Good morning, dreamers. Something to show you. I got a very traumatic text yesterday. I was busy at music practice for Sunday live stream, and I got this text from someone at my home. And it was, I broke one of your mugs. Sorry. It was the insanity. Insanity is hereditary one. Apparently, they even had a funeral for it while I was gone because they knew I enjoyed this mug. The handle is broken into three parts. Like this thing shattered. The bottom's broken in two parts. It was intense. And it reminded me, I said, don't bury it yet. Because they said, oh, you missed the funeral. And I said, don't bury it yet. And I wanted it sitting here for today because it reminded me sometimes our dreams are shattered. Sometimes our dreams are broken. Somebody else is allowed to be a part of our dreams, and they don't treat them with the respect we want them to have. Excuse me. Yes, I know, but I'm talking. Thank you. And sometimes, through no fault of our own, our dreams are shattered. And it just got me thinking, even as I was singing worship music, getting ready for Sunday. Sometimes we go through trauma that we can't come back from. We'll never ever be the same. But you know what a broken dream, a disappointment, an unmet expectation, you know what it does? When we have a funeral for it and when we bury it, not in an unsafe mental health manner where we just shove it away and pretend it never existed, but when we actually acknowledge the breakage, we acknowledge the hurt, we acknowledge that it even happened. And once it's dealt with, you know what it does? It makes room for new dreams. Makes room for new dreams. So technically, there's a mug-sized hole in my cupboard that could be filled with a new funky mug. But you know what I mean? It's just a very small picture and it's not quite exact. But it just got me thinking. The person who broke my mug had the courage to text me, had the courage to own it. Ironically, what it says is insanity is hereditary. You get it from your children. Ironically, one of mine did this. They had the courage to own it. They had the courage to text. I think they wanted to give mom a bit of time to come down if she was going to react as Hulk mom, which I didn't. I reacted well, but she owned it. So proud of her. And sometimes we have to own the damage in order to deal with the damage. She could have left it all over the floor. I walk in. Who did this? Nobody. I don't know. I have no idea who did this. And then she would have had to deal with the consequences of lying. But she dealt with the consequence. And it ended up not owning her. And it didn't own me either. So if you, by accident, have caused trauma You haven't understood somebody, so you say some offhanded remark or you send some article without really thinking about where it would land. If you have caused some sort of trauma, own it today and deal with it so that it can be discarded and make room for new dreams. But if you have had dreams broken, just simply because of life, not because of anybody's fault, just it's time to go. If your dreams and unmet expectations are hovering around you today, release them. Have a funeral for them. One of the neatest ways to have a funeral for these things I have found is I go and I get myself a flower and I rip off all the petals and I go to the creek and I pray over the petals and I literally release them into the creek and watch them float away. Sometimes I need to buy a dozen flowers for the same issue. But I'm just saying, do something today that will release these traumas and deal with them so that they can make room for new dreams. I'm going to Tim Hortons. Sweet dreams, everybody.